My name is Claire, and until that night, I thought I was just being playful. My boyfriend, Ryan, and I had been together for almost 4 years, long enough to know each other's quirks, moods, and insecurities. We had weathered rough patches before, but what happened that evening showed me how a single careless joke could break something fragile beyond repair. Ryan was loyal to a fault. The kind of man who fixed everyone's problems before his own. His best friend, Ethan, had been part of his life since childhood. They were more like brothers than friends. Over the years, Ethan and I had grown close too, mostly because Ryan trusted us both completely. We hung out as a group often, and I genuinely thought of Ethan as family. That night, a few of us were gathered at our place, a casual dinner, some wine, laughter filling the air. Ryan had stepped out to take a work call, leaving me at the table with Ethan and a few friends. The conversation turned to old injuries and scars, silly talk about childhood accidents and clumsy stories. Ethan mentioned the scar on his arm from when Ryan dared him to skateboard down a hill, and everyone laughed. Maybe it was the wine, maybe it was the mood, but when someone asked if I had any scars, I chuckled and said, "Yeah, but Ethan probably knows mine better than Ryan does." The table went silent for a beat, then everyone laughed awkwardly, everyone except Ethan, whose eyes widened in alarm. I waved it off, saying, "Relax, it's a joke," trying to lighten the tension. But then I noticed Ryan standing in the doorway, his phone still in hand, expression unreadable. The laughter died instantly. My heart dropped into my stomach. "Ryan," I started, but he just said quietly, "Finish your dinner," before turning and walking away. I didn't even excuse myself, I just ran after him. He was in our bedroom, packing his overnight bag. "It was a joke," I said, my voice trembling. "Ryan, please, you know I didn't mean it like that." He didn't look at me. "So that's funny to you? That my best friend knows you better than I do?" "It was nothing like that. I swear, it just came out wrong." He zipped his bag, finally meeting my eyes. "You think words don't mean anything? Claire, you don't make that kind of joke unless there's a reason it sounds believable." His tone wasn't angry, it was disappointed, quiet, and it cut deeper than yelling ever could. I wanted to tell him he was wrong, that I loved him, that Ethan and I were innocent. But I could see it in his eyes. He wasn't sure anymore. He left that night, saying he needed time. I didn't sleep, didn't eat. Ethan came by the next morning, guilt written all over his face. "Claire, he won't talk to me either," he said softly. "He thinks something happened between us." "Nothing did happen," I whispered. "But he's never going to believe that now." Days turned into weeks. Ryan didn't call. I sent him messages, long ones, short ones, voice notes filled with apologies, but nothing. I even saw him once across town at a cafe. He looked at me, then turned away. It wasn't until a month later that he finally texted, "I believe you." But believing doesn't erase the hurt. I didn't know what to say. He wasn't coming back, not because he thought I cheated, but because I'd carelessly broken his trust. Years later, I still think about that night. About how words, even jokes, carry weight when they come from the person you love. People think betrayal always looks like infidelity or lies, but sometimes it's as small as a sentence spoken without thought. If I could go back, I'd have chosen silence over laughter. Because that night, one careless joke cost me the person who had always loved me most.